So hello guys, this is the another day of my English speaking practice. If you are living lonely, totally alone like me, because I'm a lawyer by profession and I live in Delhi and I practice at the Saket Court. Because of I'm from the Hindi background, this is why I daily practice of English speaking with myself regularly without skip any day. This is my journey and I am on my journey. I am not going to say to you okay, I am fluent or something, but yes, I have gained my confidence as well, because most of the time when it's time to speak in English with my friends, with my seniors, with my colleagues, with my co-workers, I can usually speak these days. But if I talk about the earlier days, I was not even think about to speak any sentence without thinking 100 times. This is better for me. And earlier, when I started this video, I was talking about if you are just living outside from your home, you know, all alone, lonely like me, there are so many challenges you will face, because I am building my career all alone in Delhi. My family lives in UP and I lives in Delhi. And tomorrow I have to go to the Saket Court. There are matter listed in the Saket Court. But if I talk about today, because I went to the Faridabad court today, there was a matter listed, and so I inspected the file. If I talk about the section of that matter, the section was 138 NI Act. My client has been declared proclaimed offender by the court. This is why we went to the Faridabad court to put the application for cancellation of the 82 proceeding against my client. So, because of I live in this Saket in Delhi, and from the Saket, Faridabad is so far from the where I live. This is why my clothes got dirty. You know, as much dirty like I can't even wear again. So I have to go to the Saket court tomorrow, but I don't have my dress to wear, because I have three dresses and all three dresses are dirty. Then I am just thinking, if I talk about the time, let me show you the time, because I don't want to fake anything to you. You can see it's 11:05 p.m. right now. 11:05. Okay. And now I just finished my dinner and I am thinking, if I don't wash my clothes, especially I am talking about the dress, if I don't wash my clothes right now, then what I will going to put on in the morning to go to the Saket court, and how I can go to the Saket court without uniform, because without uniform there is no mean to go to the Saket court. Without uniform you can't appear in the court, so there is no way, and it's not the right idea. So I'm just thinking, let's go to the let's go and do my laundry. So I was thinking like, okay, let's start this video and I will finish this video after washing my clothes, and let's see how much time it may take to wash my clothes, because it's necessary to wash my clothes. I am so kind of lazy person, because I put my clothes, dirty clothes, in bucket last 2 days, but still I didn't wash my clothes, and now it's the final time. If I don't wash my clothes, I can't be able to go to the Saket court, because without wearing it, how can I go? And if I wash my clothes, then it will be easy for me to go to the Saket court, because without uniform I will not going to go to the Saket court, because I have to appear in the Saket court. This is why it's need to put on the dress. So now I am just going to wash my dress, and after washing my dress, I will continue this video what I did today at the Saket court, and at what time I left from the Saket court to Faridabad court, at what happened, what actually happened in the Faridabad court, and what is my experience about the Faridabad court, because I visited there for the first time. Okay, and then I returned back to the Saket court, and then I went to the gym, and I will definitely going to explain my day, what I did all day long, and how my day went. So it's all about till now, and I'm just going to, you can see, if I talk, I will talk to you later. Okay, so bye. So it's 11:41 p.m. right now. I just came after washing my clothes. I have finished my work of washing clothes, because if I didn't wash my clothes, it will be hard for me. How can I handle if I don't wash my clothes? So it's time to talk to you, because it's time not to actually talk to you. It's time to read few pages of my book, and then after thereafter, because I am reading this book right now, and I am at the chapter of 26, and I am reading. I read daily because of I want to you know read something in English which is interested for me, and I love reading, in which I am really genuinely interested. I love reading that kind of book which is self-help book, self motivational book, or I can say unscripted book. Okay, but if you think like I'm a kind of person who love reading of related to my profession, yes I do, but mostly I don't do. When I think like, okay, there is a matter related to section 138, then I will go to read that section. And if you talk about, there is a client who is coming to me and ask me about the 82 proceedings, and thereafter, because we face on the daily basis these kinds of situations, this is why these kind of sections we all remember. Okay, so these are the sections are not actually difficult to learn, because by practice you can memorize it easily. But when it's time to memorize forcefully, you can't do that, because by practice you can memorize easily, because we practice daily in different kinds of sections and different kinds of matters, like murder, theft, robbery, or kind of rape matter, pokso matter, sexual harassment, something. There are so many kinds of matters we face on the daily basis. This is why we remember the sections, and we know what exactly will be going to in the proceedings. This is why. And if I talk about my day, okay, let's talk about my day. Because in the morning, because yes, if I talk about from the yesterday, yesterday my senior told me to, or I can say my senior asked me to go to the Rajiv Chowk. You know what? Why? Because there was a client who asked me our help to join the investigation, because he was scared of being arrested. He don't want to be arrested. This is why he want our assistance. So my senior asked me to go with him today, but somehow my he was so scared, so My senior went with him, and I went to the Faridabad because there was matter listed. If I went with the client for joining the investigation, my senior you know would go to the Faridabad court, but I went because of that matter is mine. So this is my responsibility to handle this matter by my own. I asked to my senior for guidance, but I don't want to let all the things to my seniors, because senior can guide you. If you are not asking your senior for your guidance, then how can you go forward, and then how can you learn? This is the kind of thinking I have, because if you stop yourself to learn something new, you can't progress. If you want to progress, because I make these kinds of mistake because I don't edit. I don't want to filter my videos and don't want to trim or cut. You will never see in my videos, because I upload raw and real, because so that you can relate to this kind of situations we all face when we record ourselves, when we communicate with people. But when you communicate with people, people will be going to laugh at you if you make these kinds of mistakes. But you should understand this. If you are not allowing yourself to make mistakes, then how you can cure these mistakes? This is what I think in my mind. This is why I don't think about like, if I am making mistakes, okay, it's good, because by making mistake I can make myself correct at that point of time. Okay, at this point of time I made mistake, and how can I correct this? By correcting that mistake, I am teaching myself, yes, this is the right way to speak. This is how I am learning, and I don't know this is the correct way to learn English or not. But yes, it is what I do daily, on the daily basis. And if I talk about the Faridabad, when I went to the Faridabad with my friend, I didn't went to the Faridabad court all alone. I went with my friend. Okay. And my friend went to, when we reached at the Faridabad court, his friends was in the his friend is in the Faridabad court. So we met to my friend's friend. Okay, are you getting what I'm saying? My friend's friend is in Faridabad court, and when we reached at the Faridabad court, we met with my friend's friend at the Faridabad court, and then he assisted us, and he let us reach at the court, because I don't have any idea about the Faridabad court, because I have been there for the first time. This is why I don't even know this court was where. So you know he came with us for guidance, for guiding. He came with us for guiding. He came with us for guiding. He came with us to show the court. Is it really correct? I am just saying. Sometimes I think like, okay, how can I structure the sentence? Because if you are not thinking in your mind, if you are think in Hindi, just stop translating in your head. Just think in Hindi and speak in Hindi. What I'm just saying, I am totally kind of fool person. If you're just, if you think about your fluency, don't think in your mind in Hindi. Think in English, or just don't try to translate Hindi to English, English to Hindi. because of, if you do this you can't be learn. Okay, you know what, why? Because my language, this is a language, this is a not a kind of story, so that you can translate Hindi to English, English to Hindi, to getting your marks, to getting marks in the exam. This is not the exam, this is the real life. You have to achieve your fluency, you have to gain fluency by learning English to English. You can't expect learning English speaking. I am talking about spoken English. If you are focusing on spoken English, so I went to the Faridabad court, and after inspect the file, we went, or we returned back to the Saket court. But my friend was saying to me, I am not going to Saket court right now, because I was returning back from the Faridabad court at 4 p.m., and it would be take 1.5 hour to reach at the Saket court, and in between his home was there, so he stayed there. But I went to the Saket court again, because my bag was there and I have to do exercise. This is why I went there at the Saket court. And after reaching Saket court, after reaching Saket court, I you know I take my bag from the library, because in the morning I kept my bag into the library. And after reaching at the Saket court from the Faridabad, I take my I took my bag, and I went to the gym. And after gym I went to the room, and after you know reached at the room, I was wasting time on watching reels or something. This is why I'm making this video right now. It is all about till now, and I'm just going to read few pages of you know this book. After reading this book, I will going to sleep, and I will catch you, I guess, tomorrow, because I make video daily. But I am not saying I don't upload. I upload daily videos, because sometimes I forgot to upload videos. This is why you can see the video sequence, because someday I upload 2 3 videos, and someday I don't upload any videos, because of I forget, I forget sometime upload video. So I am going to read this book, and then I will catch you tomorrow. And I was just thinking about, there was a word, or I can say the phrase I have learned today. That was, I am just, there is in my mind, but I am just try to think, but it's not coming to my tongue. You can feel me. There is a word into my head, but it's not coming to my tongue. And it happens lots of time with me. And that phrase was, that word is in my mind, but I am not able to deliver through my tongue to you, because I am struggling to remember that word. So this is how I our mind work. So bye, catch you tomorrow.